Remember when Le Monde published a headline that said we're all Americans now? Yeah. But even before then, and I remember this because I remember having a dinner with a very senior administration figure in early August of 2001. The administration, for example, had really infuriated the Europeans by rejecting Kyoto, the treaty on global warming, in the most brusque and unnecessary manner.
Arrogance.
Well, it was arrogance, and it was sort of a "we'll show you." Well, first of all, if you're
we don't need you.
If you're the most powerful nation in the world, you don't have to show anybody anything. You know, Eisenhower, who probably had the best subtle understanding of power of any president in the last 50 years, Eisenhower always understated. He understood what Theodore Roosevelt meant when he said, "Talk softly and carry a big stick," because Eisenhower understood that at the end of every morning, we were the United States. So we didn't have to be heavy-handed. We didn't have to be. I mean, he was a very subtle man in many of his strategies. And I think that we were in this cycle of bumptiousness. And part of it, I think, was the Republican hostility to Clinton and Gore. Some of the things Clinton and Gore did
of which
actually.
you were part of.
Well, but on foreign policy, as President Clinton notes in his memoir, I was consistently helpful to him.
Let me turn to the imperatives you think this president that we're talking about in 2008, with the general construct that we need to listen, we need to be less arrogant. What are the 5 or 6 important and crucial issues we need to address?
Well, let me talk about style for a second. And style is a function of strategy. We ought to go around and find things we can agree on rather than things we're going to fight on. Okay, now, Kyoto was, in my judgment, a pretty dumb treaty on global warming. And in fact, the Senate voted 95-0 under Clinton not to endorse it. But the concept of reducing the amount of carbon emission over the next 50 years is a totally sound concept. And the United States reaching out and saying to the world, we want to help take the lead in the kind of innovation necessary and the kind of new technology necessary. And by the way, we'll share all these breakthroughs so that China and India and others can develop with minimum environmental damage.